Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today on the menu we're making this gorgeous vegetable jollof with peppered chicken. But before we get started, if you're new to my channel, kindly hit on the red subscribe button and turn on your notification post. That's where you'll be notified whenever I upload a new video. So with that being said, let's get started. To begin, I'll start by cooking my protein, and for this recipe I'm using hard chicken, but you can use whatever protein you prefer, such as turkey, beef or goat meat. And to season the chicken, I've got bay leaf, thyme. I'll also be using curry powder, nutmeg, chicken seasoning powder, some salt to taste, some blended onions, ginger and garlic. So after adding our blended mix, which is our onions, ginger and garlic, I will be adding a bit of water to rinse the blender. Then we're going to allow this to cook on a medium heat for about 15 minutes and get very tasty before we add more water, because we need some stock for our jollof. While that is cooking, I'll go ahead and introduce my ingredient for the pepper sauce. In here, I've got 2 red bell peppers already deseeded. I'll also be using 2 plum tomatoes, which is totally optional. You can choose to use only the red bell pepper. I've got 2 Scotch bonnet peppers. Please feel free to add the heat according to how much you can handle. I've got about 1 thumb size of ginger, some garlic cloves, and I've got 1 onion which I'll be using to fry the pepper sauce. I'll be garnishing the peppered chicken, but it is totally optional, and for that I'll be using 1 green bell pepper. You can also use scallions or spring onion. I'll also be using 1 white onion and 1 purple or red onion. Our chicken have been cooking for about 15 minutes, so at this point I'll add more water, about a cup of water to be precise, and I'm going to allow this to continue cooking until it is soft. Our chicken is ready and out of the stock. I have also blended the pepper mix I introduced earlier, and I blended with my blender, but however, if you're going for a roughly blended pepper mix, then please use a food processor. I also have my onion chopped. I've also chopped my onion and green pepper that I'll be using for garnish. And to season the pepper chicken, I've got some salt, chicken seasoning powder, thyme, curry powder, and nutmeg. Now we're going to be frying the chicken in a preheated oil till they are nice and golden brown. And this is what the chicken looks like after frying, so let's make our pepper sauce. In a clean dry pot, I have added 2 cooking spoons of the same oil we used to fry the chicken, and to that I have just added the chopped onion. I'm going to go ahead and saute or fry this for about 2 or 3 minutes or until it is translucent. Alright, so next I'm going to be adding my seasonings and spices, and I'll saute this for just 30 seconds, then pour in my pepper mix. And I'll be frying the pepper mix for about 12 or 15 minutes, or until I see the oil separates from the pepper sauce. At this point, our pepper sauce is properly fried, so I'll go ahead and add a bit of the chicken stock just to loosen it up a bit before adding the fried chicken. So at this point, you can also taste and adjust your seasoning if needed. Mine is perfect because I don't want my pepper chicken to become very salty. So now I'm just going to go ahead and transfer the fried chicken into the pepper sauce, then mix very well till they are nicely coated. And when making peppered chicken, you don't need a lot of sauce because you don't want the chicken to be drowned in the sauce. You just need a little to coat the chicken because, hey, we are not making stew here, okay? Once the chicken is properly coated with the pepper sauce just like this, we're going to go ahead and garnish with our green bell pepper and onions. Mix well to combine again, then allow the chicken to simmer on a very low heat for about 5 or 8 minutes thereabouts, so that the chicken will absorb the flavors from the pepper sauce and also from the green bell pepper and onions, and our pepper chicken will be ready. Yes. Our peppered chicken is ready and it smells and looks incredibly amazing. So now we're going to set this aside, then proceed to make our jollof. Here are the list of ingredients, and in here I've got the chicken stock we got from cooking our chicken earlier. And for this recipe, I'll be using basmati rice. You may feel free to use any rice of your choice. I love basmati. To garnish, I'll be using green peas, chopped carrots, and chopped purple or red onions. You can also use mixed bell peppers or fresh tomato plums and purple onion. We also need some chopped onion to fry our jollof stew. And in here I've got about 2 tablespoons of unsalted butter, which we're going to be adding almost at the end of the cooking. This will add richness, plus it's going to make our rice to be moist and not dry after the cooking process. Next, here we have 2 bay leaves and some blended boiled pepper mix. And to season the jollof, I'll be using thyme, curry powder, nutmeg, chicken seasoning, and some salt to taste. Now we are ready to make the jollof. In a clean dry pot, I'll add 1 cooking spoon of oil from the same oil we used to fry our chicken earlier. Once the oil is nice and heated up, you're going to go ahead and add in your chopped onion, then saute for about 2 or 3 minutes. At this time, I will go ahead and mix my spices and seasoning together. I'm going to be using half to season the oil, then reserve the rest for later use. So once that step is done, at this point we're going to go in and saute the spices for just 30 seconds because we don't want them to get burnt but to release their aroma. Now it is time to add the blended boiled tomato pepper mix, and we're going to fry this for about 15 minutes or till it is properly fried. And if you've noticed, for this recipe I'm not using tomato paste, and that is because I have enough red bell pepper blended in here. So for jollof, it's not compulsory you must use tomato paste. Tomato paste just gives your jollof that reddish look, which you can also achieve by using enough red bell pepper. Before we allow this to fry, we're going to go ahead and add in the 2 bay leaves. At this point, you can tell the jollof stew is properly fried, and this took exactly 15 minutes, and that is because my tomato pepper blend was boiled after the blending process. If yours was not boiled down after the blending process, then you might want to fry this for a longer period. So now we're going to go ahead and add in the washed rice. I have already washed my rice properly till the water was super clear. And you can also take out some of the stew before adding in the washed rice if you are not sure. Now we're going to mix the both together until they marry each other just like so. Then we're going to go ahead and add our chicken stock. Our chicken stock or broth will not be enough to cook the jollof, so we're going to be adding about 1 to 2 cups of hot boiled water. And to cook jollof, you don't need a lot of water. It is the steam that cooks your jollof and not too much water. So if you're using a rice that is not parboiled, you want to make sure the liquid content is about the same level as the rice. If you're using a parboiled rice, you want to make sure the stock or liquid is below the rice so you don't end up with a soggy rice. So we're going to cover this up now and allow it to cook till the liquid dries up. The liquid is dried, but we still have some moisture in here. We're going to go in and mix very well so that the heat or steam will penetrate every single grain of this rice and cook it to perfection. So once the stirring process is done, we're going to cover with a parchment or foil paper. Then turn our heat from medium to low and allow this to cook for additional 10 minutes. So 10 minutes later, I'm going to gently take out the parchment paper. And at this point, our rice is nice and ready. Just look at how fluffy that looks. But we are not done yet too, not until we have added our vegetables. So after adding the vegetable, we're just going to go ahead, mix this very well, then add in our butter. So now we're going to add and mix in the butter, and like I said, this will add richness and also make the rice to be moist and not dry. Now, if what you're going for is a smoky jollof, you want to cover up the pot and increase your heat temperature to high, then allow to continue cooking for additional 3 or 5 minutes and get burnt a bit so that it will infuse that smoky taste into the jollof. But I am not going for a smoky jollof taste, so I'm just going to cover this up and allow to continue cooking on a low heat for about 3 or 5 minutes, and we will be done cooking. So there we go, tasty team, and if you've watched up to this point, you like what you see, please click the like button, subscribe if you have not done that already, and also turn on your notification post to be notified whenever I upload a new video. Thank you all so much for watching. Till I see you next time with something delicious, have fun in that kitchen and cook each meal with love. Bye for now.